a lot more potential new homeowners were priced out of the Toronto real estate market since the surge of prices from COVID. And now that prices are finally cooling and apparently we're officially crashing, new home ownership is actually getting more attainable for the right type of buyer in 2023. If you want to know who might fit the bill, stay tuned because I'll be discussing this coming right up. This is a heads up that you can get our complete Toronto real estate investing guide for free on our website. You can see things like a breakdown of typical costs, rents, appreciation, sample financials that you can change up to see how it affects your returns, and even try out a quiz to see what might fit you best. I'll put a link to the free guide in the description below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss other content like this made just for real estate investors in Toronto. According to an independent survey on future home ownership in Toronto, the top 3 barriers of becoming a homeowner here in our city is 1, a down payment barrier, and 2, not being able to carry the monthly mortgage, and 3, not being able to qualify for a big enough mortgage. So let's take a look at these one by one. The most typical down payment on a home is 20%. But if you wanted to buy a home that's under $1 million, you actually have the option to go with a lower down payment using a CMHC insured mortgage. Now, the first $500,000 needs a 5% down payment, and the next $500,000 needs a 10% down payment. So for a house that's priced at $999,000, you need around a 7.5% down payment plus closing costs, which total around $110,000 if you can get a mortgage for the rest. But with home prices in Toronto averaging at $1.3 million at the peak in 2022, this lower down payment option was just not an option. For a $1.3 million home, you would need a 20% down payment in this case, which is almost 3 times the capital requirement at $306,000. And that becomes a massive barrier to entry for buying anything besides a condo in Toronto. Now that prices have come down a lot and might even still have more room to go, the barrier to entry has actually opened up. With 416 semis going back to 2020 levels, and 1/3 of them now are being priced under $1 million, the people who couldn't buy for most of 2021 and 2022 finally have a better chance to buy because they can actually qualify for a lower down payment percentage, which is the big game changer this year. The second barrier to entry for new home ownership would be the high monthly mortgage. Now, you might think that payments are much higher now because interest rates are much higher, and you hear about this all in the news, but that assumption is that prices stay the same. The thing is that homes in Toronto, like 416 semis, have dropped 25% from the peak, so that story is actually pretty different. The mortgage on an $825,000 semi before the pandemic would have been around $3,050 per month, assuming that mortgage rates were at 3.75%. At the peak with record low rates, but prices went up a lot, it was at $3,150 per month. Now that prices have come back down to 2020 levels, but rates have gone up, the monthly payment is now around $3,500 per month. It's gone higher, but it's not actually as much as you might think. Now, if you buy a house and rent out part of it to help with your operating expenses, then you benefit from both the lower prices and higher rents, and both of these are big advantages that will make your carrying costs much lower for you, even when interest rates are high. If you live upstairs and you rent out the basement rents have come up around $200 from a year ago. And so you are looking at closer outgoing cash flows compared to what it looked like at the peak. Living in the basement and renting the upstairs out is probably the ideal situation because you end up getting a bigger rental income portion on the house. Upper unit rents have gone up around $400, and so monthly cash flows end up being similar to pre-pandemic levels in this case. Now, you might have heard about the government pushing more gentle density in low-rise neighborhoods, and this can improve your outgoing cash flows even more. For example, later down the road, if you end up converting the upper bigger unit into two smaller separate units, then you might see another few $100s of bump in rental income, which can further bring down your monthly outgoing cash flow. And this really is the best time to get in before the plans become laws that's going to bring in more buyers and push prices up again. Finally, let's talk about the third biggest barrier, qualifying for mortgages. Now, even if property prices do come down and you do need a smaller mortgage for a new purchase, what is happening is that those who are on existing variable mortgages will find it much harder to qualify for new mortgages just because their carrying costs have gone up a lot more. On the flip side, those who aren't as affected are those who don't have any existing debt. And those who don't have any existing debt and plan on renting out part of their house would be in the best position because that extra rental income will improve their debt to income ratios more and help them qualify for bigger mortgages too. So as you can see, there's a lot of signs that 2023 will be a year for an increase in new homeowners once the price is right, because those who have been priced out since 2020 are finally able to buy again. And those who are willing to rent out part of their house they live in will benefit even more with lower monthly payments and improved mortgage qualifications. Keep in mind that there's other advantages to owning your own home over renting, like long-term appreciation over time, and part of your mortgage payments each month actually goes towards owning more equity on your home. Capital gains tax savings is the other big advantage of investing in your own home instead of parking your money in other investments like stocks or pure rental properties instead. So, if this is something that might be in your 2023 plans and you want to talk to a real estate expert to see if it's actually possible, just reach out to our team. We're a real estate sales brokerage that focuses on investing in houses and multifamily homes in Toronto, and here's how it's like to work with us. First, we'll do a discovery call with you so we get to know each other more and help you get your financing ready, and then we'll teach you how to analyze deals. Once you're set, our sales team will work with you to find the best opportunities on the market and eventually help you buy the best one for you. Houses typically need a bit of renovations, and we'll help you with a detailed scope of work and contractor connections. And then once you're ready to rent out the place, we also have leasing and property management services if you need it. So if you want to learn more about any of this, just head over to our website at the link down below. Again, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and look for us on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn if you want to hear from us more regularly. You can also head over here to check out our other videos. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.